Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday webinar. I'm Liz Downing, e-commerce marketing manager at Takeometrics. I've got a bunch of my friends here with me today. I've got David Dayan from Amazon Experts, Yoni Mazur from Gatita, Frank Acosta from Creative Percent. So what we're going to talk about today is what we're seeing for Q4 for Amazon sellers and what we're anticipating 2022 is going to be like. I know from some of the content that I've been doing recently, my thoughts. And I know obviously supply chain is on everybody's mind right now. What are you guys hearing from your clients? What are the biggest things you're seeing and what are the biggest worries that people are sharing with you?
You want to hit this first? Hey, David, you want to hit it?
Yeah, David's like the perfect person for it.
He's the next on the tile that I see. I don't know what you guys see, so he's there. So I'm pointing at you. So go ahead.
So I think that a lot of people have been through this year. A couple of guys have been through the ringer. Some people have lost traction on Amazon, and inventory limitations are a problem. And I think pretty much everybody has made peace with the fact that you have to have a hybrid model of FBA and FBM. I want to talk a little bit about how I think Vendor Central is going to play a much bigger role. There was a little bit of like a lean towards Seller Central. I sense and I think that Vendor is going to have a comeback, just because of some of the benefits you have when you're working on a Vendor Central account. But I would say that I'm hopeful for 2022, and I think that you're going to have people having a little bit of a better handle on the situation. So 2021 has been pretty crazy. 2020 has been pretty crazy. I'm hoping that by 2022, and I'm seeing enough guys that are figuring it out and making the moves they need to make in order to survive, I guess, and conquer the opportunity that is Amazon. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Yoni, what do you see?
Just before I jump into what I see, I find it interesting what you're saying on the Amazon Vendor Central side, because one thing's for sure, right? If they're going to order 10,000 units or 100,000 units, you're going to be able to ship it, no restrictions. So that's a good point to make out there. So you provoked, it's thought provoking. So yeah, sellers maybe try to reach out to Amazon, see if they can pave their way into Vendor Central. But I guess the higher caliber or the more sophisticated sellers that I've come across with, their strategy until further notice is to source, especially if they source overseas. If you're sourcing domestically, less of an issue for you, right? So you can make production, drip it into FBA, or even take it to your fulfillment center and then do FBM, fulfill by merchant. But the bigger players that are sourcing from overseas, they basically like prepare for war. So they got the finance ready, their financials, and they invested a lot into inventory. So they're sourcing a lot, a huge batch. Instead of they're buying for 30 days or 90 days, they're buying for 6 months or 9 months or even a year. They bring it all in here because it takes forever. So then finally when it's here, they want to have it here. So they have they hire they rent, or if they have their own capacity, they save it in their own warehouses. But if they don't, they use a 3PL, a third-party logistics center. They store it there and they start dripping it in into FBA and also using FBM. That's the main strategy that I've seen right now, because of the sourcing and logistics constraints on a global level with all the ships and the containers. So they had to do that. And also the Amazon, the second challenge was the Amazon, storage limitations. So these two techniques, they were able to battle it, and it's like wartime for them. Until further notice, this is the strategy, this is the tactic. And once they implemented it, it seems like they're much more stabilized. Because if you're trying to swing it, buy a 30-day supply, 90-day supply, and somehow get on time, and it's not getting on time, you lose your rank. It's just very hard to survive. I don't see even how sellers are able to survive. But you finally got it here. You can't even ship it to FBA directly, so you got to have a third party at 3PL, receiving it, and then you ship it to FBA. Very tough. So the main strategy seems to be clear: buy in bulk. You need to have the right capital, and and bring it all here, and then drip it into all the channels that you need. That's kind of the main thing that I see right now for Q4, and probably will take place heading into 2022. I'll give it over to Frank. What do you see?
Yeah, man, so this is not so much my space, but my customers are talking about this. Look, I always believe that there's a little bit of positive that comes into every negative, right? I believe a lot of other doors have been opening for a lot of other players in the space. I've heard of crazy stuff happening in Mexico now, like never before. So within all the negative, there's always positives that come out of it. Yeah, and sticking true to like the whole business aspect, right? More venture capitalists are out there. There's more people giving out loans. There's more 3PLs opening. So within the negative, there's always a piece of positive, right? And seeing these sellers expanding to other countries and looking for other sources, you know, is something that we all should have been prepared beforehand, right? You know, as a good business owner, option B should always be on the table, and option C and other options available. No one had that before because they were dependent on one source. And now that they were forced to, like, we don't know what the heck is going to happen, you know, it opened their eyes to be able to overcome if another pandemic like this does come or another situation like this presents itself, right? So yeah, it's a learning curve at a crazy price, but it also, you know, we've all grown from this, and, you know, pushing harder to make sure that the next year works, and it opened doors for a lot of people. So you know, fight the good fight, as they say.
I love
Yeah.
that you brought up the alternate sourcing. We did a webinar with Patricio Tellez from Algo Plus, and he's helping people find manufacturers in Mexico. I've got a call with a company this week that's doing the same thing. I talked to Mike Begg with Amazon AMZ Advisors, and they're helping their customers do the same. It's just such amazing opportunity, and I think it's going to be good for more than just e-commerce. I think it's really, really exciting what is going to be happening in Mexico and South America, because I know that there are people that are working with manufacturers in Mexico, Colombia, Brazil. You know, there are people that are figuring out that business works a little different than it does in China, but that's maybe not a bad thing, because maybe you have a more personal connection to the people that are manufacturing your goods. Maybe you've got the opportunity to visit, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg and take you 3 days to get there. You know, maybe you've got an opportunity to get closer to your products and really understand what goes into making them. Maybe you have an opportunity to make them better. That's not a fast process, obviously, and there are obviously a
Liz,
lot of things.
just so you
Yes.
know, if you want to visit China today, you could. We have to spend 21 days in quarantine.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there, so you know. If you go to Mexico, Colombia, you probably have a good time there, and you don't have to spend any time in
Yeah,
quarantine.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have a customer now that shifted everything to Mexico. Huge
Wow,
brand.
that's a big move. Yeah.
And it was, you know, he sent me a FaceTime video, and he was in Mexico. He was like, "Wow, man, it's a shorter flight. It's easier to understand the people here, whatever the case is." But like we are saying, Liz, is reality. Doors are opening. You know, some doors close, other doors open, right? So it's just finding the positive in all the negative.
Yeah, for the next, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years, the whole continent of America, right? North America, Central and South will be able to kind of align together, come together, and develop regions and zones where labor is cheap, and they need labor, they need industry, and you know, build it up, and you know, create and you know, economies are around that, and sellers will be able to tap into that and be that force, that right, the seller, third-party sellers with all the brands, that force that builds up all these economies there, and employment there, and it goes back to this economy when the finished products and goods are entering the market, and you know, record speed time, and then the whole e-commerce booms and flows. That would be a good vision into the future of you know,
Yeah,
creating
just
something that is huge and helps others.
can you imagine going from a 12, 14-hour flight to a 3-hour flight? You know, it's a game changer, right? So yeah,
No, but even containers, if you want to bring containers instead of on a week or two, it could be a few days. It's coming from
it is.
Panama right away. What, it takes a day from Panama to come to Miami or something, or
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Texas has Houston over there. That's another port. I'm not sure what else is going on, but
crazy.
yeah, just roll it in, bring the inventory, and develop this whole continent. Why not? I don't see a reason why not. So if the politicians are hearing and listening, you know, we made a statement here in e-commerce. So
Oh,
we
they
want people.
always come to my webinars, all the politicians.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Kidding, I'm kidding. They don't. I don't think.
All right. Who's the governor of Virginia?
You don't know who the governor of Virginia is?
I live in New Jersey. I'll tell you the Jersey one.
Who's the governor of New Jersey?
Bill
Well,
Murphy.
ask David though.
Yanni already said.
What did I say?
Paul.
No, Bill Murphy. I said Bill Murphy. Anyways, good.
Very
You
close.
don't know? Our governor is Ralph Northam. He's
Got it. And Frank, who's the governor of New York? There's been a change lately. So who's the governor? You're in New York, so.
He's partnering with Amazon, so he's in that
No,
space.
it's a she, by the way. It was a trick
Yeah,
question.
Man, look, man, we've been put on the spot, right? We
All good. Let's move on.
Put your money
I
where
want
your
you to.
I love it.
It's all good. Now we kind of touched the logistics and sourcing, but honestly, the fact that we have Frank here, we can also touch about the creative and content, and also with Liz, of course. What are the trends right now for Q4 and heading into 2022?
Yeah, you want to take over?
Liz or Frank, whoever wants to take that one.
Go ahead, Liz. I'll go after you.
Well, it's amazing to me how voraciously the industry is consuming content right now, right? So like Takeometrics does a webinar every week, which seems excessive, but we really get a lot of people here because people want to know everything, and things change so often. I mean, you look at your LinkedIn feed and the amount of people in e-commerce that are posting on LinkedIn, the amount of engagement they get on their posts because people are having real conversations about how to solve problems in their business. So when you create content for the industry, obviously it's being consumed by the people who also then have to create their own content in order to sell their product. So we're getting a lot of the people, because obviously if you don't know what Takeometrics does, we do advertising and data insights, and it's really, really cool and sexy. But we are getting a lot of our brands that are saying, look, we need better creative. We need somebody, tell us somebody to optimize our listings. Tell us somebody who can do great video. Luckily, I've got really good friends that can help out with that. But the need that brands have right now to create images, video, the assets for their advertising, their own websites, whatever they're trying to do, because the space is so competitive, there's a real rush toward the creative agencies like Frank's. And Frank, I'm sure you're feeling that. Add to the fact, like we do a giveaway with Ecom Cooperative, and what everybody wants is a video from Frank.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I don't want your thing, Liz. I don't want free advertising software. I want a video from Frank. It's like the most popular giveaway that we have because he does great work, and people really, really need that differentiator.
Yeah, so I think what you're trying to say here, as far as I understand, is that sellers understand today, now more than ever before, the need to really communicate with the end consumer, the end target, in the most sophisticated, beautiful, creative way possible. And wherever benchmark you created, keep pushing and striving for the next one, because it's very competitive out there. So whatever you're doing, people will see this, that's cool, but let me show what I got. And so they brush it off a bit more. And after a little while, you're gonna see, look at these guys. So this is like a battle. Honestly, like, sellers are becoming Hollywood. They're becoming producers.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing like the Hollywood. Disney is trying to outbeat Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is trying to outbeat Fox, and Fox is trying to outbeat Sony on the creative, and just make it exciting and exhilarating to consume what they're selling it to you or showing to you. Same thing with consumerism and selling on Amazon. So Frank, what are you experiencing at this point?
Look, I think most importantly, outside of Amazon and anything, as a business structure, whether you're selling a product or a service, you have to care about your customers, right? So, all these customers are buying from you. They've been loyal to you for years, and the only way for you to give back is to update all your stuff, right? Where they go to your listing and they see a video. Whether this is a big thing that I'm about to say right now. It's Christmas. Why the hell don't you have one post that resonates with that, right? Why don't you update your banner in your storefront? Whatever the case is being up to date. That shows your customers that you care, and that's what makes you a memorable brand, right? Where they're working on extra things that these other brands don't do. That makes me want to learn more and not only buy the product that caught my attention, but I want to see what else they have, right? So you're successful on Amazon when somebody buys a product from you and then they go and buy another one. That's what a real successful brand is. In the aspect of branding, where you capture the customer because they needed one specific product and they're like, wow, I love the experience, I love the packaging, I love the insert, let me go and see what else they have to provide, right? And the moment they come to you and you're standing out, your pictures are on point, you have videos on your listings, right? They're like, you know what, this company really cares. Sometimes people think that the buyer doesn't resonate with that, and it's completely false. We resonate, we all have an emotional attachment at one point, and what attaches us to a brand is how much they're executing their work. So if your competitor has a video and you don't, honestly, you care less, right? It's like you don't care for it. You feel like your customer doesn't need to see that. I have 3,000 ratings. I don't care no more. Guess what? There's someone that has 250 ratings, but they have everything on point. They're gonna grow. They're gonna at one point, you're gonna be competing with
You're gonna have 4,000. You're gonna be left behind. Also, they have 4,000, 5,000. I'm still stuck on my 3,000 or 3,500. and then you're playing
Yeah.
catch up instead of leading your category or your niche or whatever you're in. But I want to touch something you said, because I want to amplify it. For Q4, you recommend obviously not having a standard video in your listing. You're saying have in your arsenal videos for Q4, for Christmas, for example, right?
Yes.
Have it in your arsenal. You have for this season, or hopefully for next year's season, for 2022 and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So you pull it out of the arsenal right into the Christmas season. The same way retail stores do. You go to a retail store every season, it's kind of different, right? You go to Abercrombie and Finch, or if you go to Aeropostale, you haven't shopped in a long time, so you can help me with other retailers when
Yeah.
you come
Yeah.
in. And it's a different vibe every time, and it resonates with you. It gives you that experience. So the same way you can do that on your creative side, of course, with videos, images,
I'll put
even
it even
the
easier.
copyright.
And I'll put it even easier. And David knows this as well. I have a few customers that did a Christmas video with me, and every year they just change it to that video. It was a one-time investment, and obviously, if your product didn't change, you can keep reusing that video. But the simple fact that someone goes on your listing and you have a video dedicated just to Christmas, which we all know is the biggest quarter on Amazon, like at that point you're a level above everybody else, right? So it all goes down to you giving a damn, to not say a curse, right? Giving a damn about your clients, giving a damn about your customers, and that's what makes a difference these days.
That's funny because you guys just answered a question that came in about content. Are you allowed to add design to images or videos that have, or about Black Friday or about Christmas? And I mean, heck
David,
yeah.
and David does this very well, man.
No, so wait, hold on. You're not allowed to say anything about Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals. That's against protocol, against terms of service. But you can use a Christmas tree, and you can use a gift in the image and in the video. You got to be a little bit careful with terms of service as far as calling out deal days and discounts. There's a couple of words that are big no-nos, but for the most part, you're definitely allowed to take out that holiday feeling, and you're just trying to create content that invokes emotion, that gets that customer in that shopping mode, makes people happy, makes people look forward to the holidays. It'll only do you it'll do you well when you have that on your side.
Well, and to help out in the show notes, we'll post a link to Seller Central where it goes over the guidelines of what you can and can't do in your images, so that you guys will have that when you get the replay.
So let me ask you, David, what about your storefronts? I'm pretty sure people want to know about. Can you add images that say Happy Holidays in the storefront, like as a banner?
Again, Happy Holidays. I'm not. Don't base anything on me. I would imagine Happy Holidays is acceptable. But again, I guess you're going to have to read the terms of service to make sure, to confirm that you're getting the right. I don't want to steer anybody the wrong way.
For sure.
I just thought about something. I wonder if Amazon is listening and might adopt this. You know how you, especially the shopping season, you will walk into a retail store or the malls and all these musics, or like all these tunes. Imagine you go to Amazon and they started having a soundtrack when you're shopping on Amazon. It can also, choose your vibe. You want a Hanukkah theme? Boom, Hanukkah theme. You want a Christmas theme? Boom, Christmas. You want a vacation theme? So you click play, and there's a playlist while you're shopping on Amazon. You guys, what do you think about that idea? Is that a prediction into the future? Do you think that consumers might adopt, because it puts you in the mood? You know what? It's
First
like
of all,
it's like the next step.
if you don't get a $5 million check from Amazon before they do that, unacceptable, right?
I just thought, yeah, because you guys are saying invoke emotion and
Yeah.
experience, and that's. I used to work in the malls. I haven't there in a decade, granted, but I remember the malls give you a sensational experience, because I remember the tunes, and then you come in, it puts you in that atmosphere. It's fun, it's exciting, and you want to buy, you want to spend more. So just thinking if predictions into the future, if they might ever adopt that. And now with technology, it's so easy. It's so easy to create soundtracks and playlists and a variation of playlists. Very, very simple. Amazon has its own music, a store, an app, and to begin with. So why don't you just take that feature and embed it into Amazon for the consumer side, and click it, and even take it further than that. Some way, somehow, have the sellers also kind of recommend what kind of ambiance or soundtrack for the listing will be appropriate. So once you hit the listing, you can have like a play button, and then you have like a soundtrack on the listing itself, to take it to the next step of creative.
As long as there's a play button, because we all hate websites
Yeah,
that.
no intrusion. Yeah, it's like you kind of make it a thing. If you ever want to kind of feel the vibe of the next experience with shopping online, Just click and play. That's it. If you want, it's up to the consumer. And adaptation. I wonder who's going to adopt it or not. What will be the percentage?
Well, on that note, Yoni, I think that something that everyone, people have been talking about and everyone's kind of expecting, and it's no secret that Amazon is making brands a little bit more social. You can follow brands. They encourage brands to put out, raw, organic content. And I think there's a lot more coming. And from the people that I speak to at Amazon, they're looking to make the brands the social aspect, and Amazon, and again, the social aspect of any platform right now is complementing Amazon, TikTok and Instagram, and all social is responsible for traffic in the end of the day. I feel like we should talk a little bit about social as well. Talking about
When you say
Squid
social,
Game.
you just mean social media, or just really social
Media, yeah.
contribution to your community environment, products that you're selling, or maybe you're donating to a
I'm
local
talking about
charity?
like TikTok leggings. There was leggings on
Oh,
TikTok, and then TikTok leggings was one of the most searched words on Amazon for a long time. And now you have Squid Games merch. There's a show, Squid Games, and they had a race. Amazon had it first, but now actually Walmart just announced they made a big deal with Squid Games and with Netflix in general. And it just shows you that the shows that people are watching and the social platforms that people are spending time on are places that can take that traffic, capture it, and then kind of just funnel it into Amazon. And I think that Amazon itself is already rolling tools out, like we know, to make it more social. And I think that 2022, at the very least, is going to be more social on many levels. But I think that anybody who takes advantage of advertising on TikTok and advertising on Instagram, and now is the time to do it, not after. Right now, if you don't have a video, you don't have everything you need to succeed. Right now, if you go and you master the social aspect of selling on Amazon, you're ahead of the curve. So I mean, if I had a choice, I would want to be ahead of the curve as opposed to late to the game. And I think that it's a given. Videos are needed, but I think that the writing's on the walls. Amazon is going to only get more and more social, and get with it or fall behind.
One of the biggest questions.
I want to help define something. What David said, it helps me a little bit mentally, right? I'm sorry to cut you off on this, Liz. When we say social, right? I think that if we want to redefine it, we can just call it popular culture.
Sure.
That is popular culture. How do sellers connect with popular culture as soon as possible so it resonates with the consumers and create these waves and explosion of retail consumption, which is in the favor of everybody, and this excitement, this buzz. Social media and social is popular culture. Popular culture used to be in the movies or magazines. It's still, they have their own respective place in popular culture, but social media is record speed. Like, Squid Games, what, it came out 2-3 weeks ago, and it's blowing up on all these stories at record speed. This it wasn't planned, I guess. Now, I don't think that Netflix secured a deal before that. Maybe going forward with all these shows, they might secure deals with Amazon or Walmart to sell merch.
They made a deal. They made a deal for 2 shows right now, but it's showing you that there's more to come, I think, for sure. So
yeah, so connecting to popular culture, that's a big component. Whoever can seize on these momentums will have tremendous success. Back to Liz. Sorry, I cut you off on that.
That's okay. One of the biggest questions brands ask me all the time, not just in Q4, but especially lately, people have been talking about influencers. How do I find influencers? I'm not able to do enough with my own social media. I need somebody to boost my stuff, or I need somebody to talk about my stuff. And I think that it's frustrating because it's hard to find. I mean, now everybody's an influencer, right? So a lot of agencies and consultants in our space just have given up on trying to recommend actual influencers, because it's just not working the way it's intended to work. I think probably Tim would have a lot to say about that if he were here, but I've seen, just for instance, with Takeometrics, since I've been here, so I've been here a little longer than a year, and we've amped up our social. We just stepped up our social game, and I've seen the numbers go up, and that's just a niche industry. We look at the e-com cooperative, and it's following on LinkedIn, and it's following on Facebook, and it's following on Instagram, and that's something that you guys just built, right? I mean, it's been around for less than a year. You can put, as a brand, effort into your social you can put some money into it and you can actually see a return on your investment without having to find, you know, a Kardashian to talk about your product.
I think a mixture of everything. If you can over time find the right influencers, you know, instead of calling even for influencers, call them partners who have influence. Partners with the emphasis on partner. We can really partner with you, and be you know, doing in good faith and kind of enjoy it and like it, not just about the money thing. Pay me 100 grand for 2 seconds on this video and blah, and that's it. And then it's like a factory already. It's no motion. It's really generated. It's kind of almost artificial. So look for partners who can be really good influencers or have influence out there. So you have that combination, that caliber. Of course, create your own influence. So that's what Liz was saying. Invest in your social and your stature, whatever it is that you're selling, or when you're selling products, you're kind of solving issues, right? If somebody wants to play, you're selling toys, right? And if somebody wants to cook, you're selling a kitchen, whatever. So you're solving problems. So be the authority one way or another in your domain, and raising it that, you know, create content, compelling content, explain, you know, how you're helping others. Of course, if you have really social and community purposes, if you donate to a local church or a soccer team in your community, whatever it is, amplify that, show it out there, show, and you know, consumers will resonate with that. They'll be attracted to that or appreciate you. Might even willing to pay you a bit more than the other competitor, which is based out of factory somewhere with no heart, no soul. You know, so you're selling your product for $32.99, the other one's selling it for $20.99, but you're able to really resonate on a social level or content level or influence level where the price matters a bit less, because actually they're feeling you, they're following you, they like you. So I think that would be a great advantage toward to the future of really dominating your game with less interruption and influence from competitors. Create influence, you'll be less influenced by outside powers. I guess that's kind of a part of the dynamic.
Yeah. I also think that something that I've been hearing recently is, if you have a social following, a brand I'm talking about has a social following, you actually, you know, the red carpet, so to speak, is rolled out for you, and you get more opportunities. Just when you're starting out on Amazon, they look for brands that have a big following. So anyone out there who's thinking about Amazon or you know, recently started out, that is something that is leverage, having a big social following. So again, I think the writing's on the
So you're
wall.
saying if a person already is kind of popular anyways out there, it was on
If
TikTok
you have a
or on
website,
Instagram?
if you have a website and a social media following already existent, that is doing something that, you know, thousands of followers, something, you know, substantial, that definitely has leverage for you. It gives you leverage as
And you're saying that because Amazon, as far as I understand, it's not really my domain, favors outside traffic that converts?
They want to align themselves with brands like that, and there's opportunities to get an account manager at Amazon, and if you have a brand that has a following, they're interested. The brand manager will you know, look for that.
Well, there's also, I mean, with the brand referral program is a thing now, and that's like,
That's 10%, right? They knock off 10% from the selling price, Amazon. So essentially, if I get this correctly, if I'm not, correct me, you're able to bring outside traffic into Amazon from your own influence, you know, like referral channels. And if that converts and you buy your products, instead of, you know, Amazon will give you a 10% discount. So instead of selling, paying a 15% selling fee, you'll pay only 5% because 10 will be carved off. Is that what's going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
are you
Okay.
seeing are you seeing a lot of brands taking advantage of that, David?
Not as much, no. I think that's
How do you
all of
set it
that.
up? Anybody know how to set? How do you set this up? Because if you do, share with us. I want to learn, and it might be actually very useful. So looking into 2022, some of the people here or they're watching this recording will be able to tap into that and hopefully find success there, because 10% is huge. Think
Yeah,
about that.
I'll
It's
definitely
massive.
put links in the show notes, and I'm actually doing a webinar at the end of December with Justin Coates from Vaulting Consulting about Amazon attribution and the brand referral program, because it's something that I don't think a lot of sellers know about it, you know. And
Yeah, it's very recent. I think they rolled out very recently.
I knew about it for about a year.
A year? Oh, I guess I'm behind on that. Okay. All right, so we need case studies. We need to go out there and scout for the ones who actually made it through and what was the best setup for them. Because it's like anything, it's all about the setup. If you have the right setup, you'll probably do well. I think part of the setup should be with pixels, right? So you have your website and you throw people there, and then people, pixels up, they color the visitors on your website or your landing pages, and then they start going to Instagram or TikTok
This is
or
not my
Facebook.
area of expertise, but I know that that's not a lot. Pixels are not, they don't integrate with Amazon. Amazon doesn't give you that.
No. So the pixels basically throw the ads back. So when you go to social media, it recognizes you. It puts the ad. When you click the ad, that takes you to Amazon.
Got it.
Then you can get the referral. So you build basically a network, like a spider web around your consumers on a digital way, and then you'll be able to attribute once the final click comes in, and put with that link, it pushes you to Amazon to buy. It's with that attribution, and you get that 10% kickback. Once again, you got to build that ecosystem and those funnels the right way. It's all about the setup. So we need to really find the ones who did it correctly.
There's another service I recently heard about. I'm not ready to say many details about it, but it's just an idea at the moment. Basically, we all know what press releases, people take advantage of press releases all the time. But I think majority of people take advantage on a brand level. So I hear things about press releases for a product level, on a product level. So again, it's like it's related to what we're talking about here. It's just another way to drum up organic relevancy for a product. And it's an interesting thing. And I don't know of an offer that's out there right now, but I know it's something that's being worked on, and should be something coming down the road, and probably in 2022.
Yeah, just as a tip for you, for anybody here listening to this, so there are ways to make press release free. I'm sure, Liz, you probably all know all about this, right? There's a website you come in and do a free press release. You can create your own content, and let's say you guys are already in Q4. Maybe if you're gonna create a new product line or a new bundle of some sort, or even a special offer, like if you usually sell for $60, you're selling for $40, first time ever, you can create a press release. This brand is proud to present, for Christmas, helping the society, helping communities, or we're going to be offering it for the whole month of December for this discount, a press release for free, right? Your own content and creative on the press release level, and you lease it out there, and it's free. And then you start dripping that into social media or an email marketing campaign or email blast. But Liz can elaborate more about how to set up press releases if there's anything there.
You can do free ones. I know that, like, if Tim were here, he would tell you that his good friend Norm Farrar talks a lot about the power of press releases for brands, and actually Norm does not charge a whole lot for.
So I think let's give it a shout out. What's the company? I think it's PR Reach, right?
PR Reach. Norm Farrar, the guy with the beard. He actually knows his system, and his people know the right places to send.
Yeah. So yeah, for $300 you do it. They take care of all the headache for you. But even more importantly, the creative and the art, the design, they can help. I believe they help you with that also. So it's a turnkey for you. And then you hit it strategically for maybe a Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Maybe for Cyber Monday, you say, oh, we're gonna be 50% off for Cyber Monday only. Boom, make some marketing noise with the press release, and hit the races. Yeah. That's a good one for Q4. It's exciting. See, there's all these layers you can just throw in there to have a good Q4, but then start utilizing it towards 2020.
You said it before, Yoni. You said it's not about doing one of these things or two of these things. It's really about doing everything you can. Checking off everything you possibly can. Maybe every single one of these strategies is not an option, but try to go with as many pieces as possible. It's not about doing one thing right. It's about finding the right formula, the combination of a bunch of different pieces of the Amazon puzzle. So I think you have to, everything we talked about today, it's all part of it.
I think in addition to that, don't try to do it all at once the best way. No, it's going to take time to develop it. So add all these capabilities over time, do the trial and error, make all the mistakes possible, botch it up. But over time, as long as you aim towards it, I believe that you'll build it up, and you'll get a good experience, and it's going to be deeper and deeper. It's just going to snowball and then become an effective force for you. So hopefully you'll be more, impactful and non-stoppable in a way. So that's kind of everybody's ambition.
What do we think about Walmart for this 2022?
Ask Liz all about it. What's going on with Walmart, Liz? How's advertising there?
It's great, actually. And Walmart is lovely to work with. Absolutely. And the brands that we have that are like newly launching on Walmart are having really, really good experiences. Fulfillment, not so great, but it's new.
It's
new.
right? Walmart
It's
fulfillment
new.
services. Yeah, it's new. It's it's baby.
Yeah, not quite there yet. But we're seeing an increase in success on Walmart with brands that maybe have seen a little bit of a slowdown with Amazon because of inventory limits or because of, you know, other Amazon-y type things. But Walmart is still an enormous opportunity, and they're very interested in third-party sellers. They're very interested in third-party brands. They're interested in being an attractive marketplace. And I think that's important because they can kind of look at Amazon and what Amazon has done, and then they can sort of like get feedback from people who sold on Amazon for a long time and kind of know what not to do as they expand marketplace. So they've got a lot of advantages there, because obviously Amazon grew like nothing we've ever seen ever in the whole world, and there were things that were overlooked, there were inefficiencies, and Walmart's got a great opportunity to just like whiz right on by. But Amazon's always going to be the behemoth that it is. But Walmart is a great opportunity.
And still, I'm still shocked how Walmart is behind. See, this is a great lesson. Walmart was up to 10 years ago, the juggernaut, right? The biggest, retail animal. Everybody's behind, even Amazon. We're just all playing catch up. And 5-10 years later, it's playing catch up with Amazon, because Amazon is just in a relentless pursuit of happiness for its users, right? For its consumers. And I think Jeff Bezos mentioned once that he's like, asking, what about the competition? You don't care what they're doing, this and that. He's like, no, I don't look at the competition. I look at what my consumers need, what they want, and I chase that. If I do that correctly, eventually probably the competition will chase me. So that's hyper focus on the consumers, how to engage more with them, make them excited, make them happy, make them come, keep coming back on the best way and most efficient way possible. And I think definitely Amazon is a testimony of that, because the infrastructure on the FBA side, that's when they won big. Nobody's even, only now Walmart's coming in, but that is huge. It's saying we want our consumers online to trust us so much. We're gonna invest hundreds of billions of dollars in infrastructure and technology to make sure that they get their products within, Amazon Prime, right, 2 days, a day. Right now it all looks standard, but 10 years ago it was revolutionary. It's like, because you used to wait for a week or two, maybe get something, maybe not, call it in, where's my stuff? They changed the game big time, and they did two-day shipping was the standard. And a bit, I think 2-3 years ago they already started with 1-day shipping. A lot of stuff that I can buy on Amazon within a day comes in, and the next pursuit 30 days, 30-minute, right? You have Amazon Prime now. It's a relentless pursuit of where we are now. How can we do it even more? Obviously, there's always like the talk about the Jones. They want to deliver, stuff with Jones. We'll see if that ever happens. But relentless pursuit of happiness for your consumers and your target audience. So obviously, we can all be humble and try to do it the same way to our end consumers and target audience on the ways that are available to us through technology and infrastructure. So to keep that in mind.
I want to go back to the opportunities Amazon is giving brands to have a social presence on Amazon. So we did talk about TikTok, and we talked about Instagram, we talked about building up your own social media accounts, being relevant in pop culture, all that kind of stuff. But Amazon has created the opportunity for consumers to follow brands. There's Amazon Live, there are Amazon posts. What are you guys seeing, David and Frank, in terms of like how excited are brands getting about this? How are
Not
they
excited enough. Again, I think not enough people are trying lives. I talk to Frank all the time about the fact that I don't know many services. There might be a few, but nobody who's, unless you guys know of someone that I don't know of, who's offering this as a service. I think that this is a big opportunity for service providers to jump on it and make it streamlined and easily accessible for sellers. There's nobody in market right now, to my
I know
knowledge.
exactly two.
Okay, so I might have heard of one, but it wasn't anything so what educate us. Who are we?
So the person that I know that has done the most with Amazon Lives is Rachel Johnson Greer with Cascadia. They were early adapters, and they'll actually do the lives for their customers. So that makes a big difference when you don't have to like get on and like be live on Amazon for 2 hours or 30 minutes or whatever. So they probably have the best number of case studies as to how it's been working for the brands that they work with. But I know that the last time I had her, well, she talked about that at Prosper. So that was in July, and she had some really good case studies on really great results people were getting from leveraging that option. It's just that there's a certain game you have to play, and there's a certain amount you have to go live in order to get like sort of badged up so that it's really effective. For a while, I think you're just like on camera, la da da, and you're just putting in your time, right? So um, obviously, you need a good strategy for that, but you also need to make it engaging content. So like her tips were to make sure you show your product in your live, you know? I mean, it seems silly to have to tell someone that, but there were a lot of people that were doing lives and they were just like talking about their product but not showing their product. You know, show you using your product. And I can't believe that she had to tell people that.
A popular strategy that I heard of and saw being used was, as crazy as it might sound, those white lab coats. When you're wearing one of those, somehow, some
Project
way,
authority, yeah.
yeah, people just think that you're saying facts, you're dropping knowledge. And I'm talking about like if you want to review a remote control car, obviously a doctor has nothing to do with a remote control car, and it might even in some types of products come off as a little cheesy, but simply sitting down at a table, having the product in front of you, talking about it, opening it up. That's like it's as simple as it sounds. It's more, it seems like a product unboxing sort of, but it's more friendly, and you're the brand owner and you're talking about it maybe for 30 seconds before you open it. So that's kind of like the what I've seen, I guess. And I thought it was cute. I thought it was nice. And obviously everyone does it their own way, but that was something I've seen.
Well, unboxing sure did work for YouTube. You know, I mean, think about how many enormous YouTube accounts that were just unboxing videos. Like, just people went bonkers over that. I
Yeah.
never got it, but
There's people that made
but if
millions.
Oh, my kids love that stuff. They still love it. Whatever. It's like the excitement was. See what this is the genius. Through the digital age, you're able to share that unboxing experience. That as a consumer, who doesn't love opening, your product? It's like it's a rush, right? So these cute, innocent children, I know, or the parents, whoever was savvy enough to record them and get their natural excitement and the response and capture it and feed it and upload it to YouTube and feed it to the whole world. It just works. It just natural human experience for children to see they see a kid happy or excited or getting even not excited or this sucks and just laugh because of it. All these natural reactions are just it's the same way we always get these silly videos of people falling or bloopers, whatever. It resonates. So take advantage of it. It's the old system work with just with new mediums, which
What
is
about those videos where like you have like a box of sand and they're cutting the sand like perfectly? It's so satisfying.
It's so
It's
good.
very satisfying. Like they cut it and then they cut it again, and I can watch that stuff. I'll start watching and then an hour passes and I'm like, what am I doing?
I don't even know what you're talking about. What do you do with sand? What is it?
It's like imagine like cutting like a sticky sand, like it makes a sound like you're you're
And it's
cutting
like
a piece of it. It like I have to show it to you. I'm not doing it.
After
Liz,
the
you want to help
show,
me,
we can
Frank?
we can put on the
We'll
show
we'll
notes.
we'll put a link in the show notes to David's
Yeah,
space
but
out.
I actually for the show notes I want to add
Yeah.
something else. I want to add to the show notes. I'll send it to Liz on. I have the link here. But Amazon, I don't know if you guys saw this a week ago. I think they published a report, right? The small business report. Mainly involves third party sellers and FBA sellers. So there's 2 points here I want to bring to your attention and discuss, if I may. So they're saying here that more than 300 sellers are using stores. Right, so they're saying here in the generic the description of store is a free multi-page branded storefront, empowers brands to create a customizable destination that tells their brand story and provides a place for Amazon customers to both learn about their company and discover their full range of products. More than 300,000 sellers are currently using stores to connect with consumers. That's kind of the first thing. But then they jump on brand followers, okay? And they're basically saying that brand followers spend more than double. So I don't know if you guys overlooked this, but I think this is interesting. This is coming from Amazon, not just guru somewhere. This is Amazon giving you data saying brand follow helps sellers boost sales and customer loyalty by allowing customers to follow their brand, increasing their visibility in Amazon store. Customers who follow a brand on Amazon spend more than double of non-followers.
Well, I mean, think about it. You log on to the Amazon app, you're shopping for something, and because you're following a brand, you will see their content during your shopping experience. So, I mean, if you're following a brand, you're going to see their products. If you're going to see their products, I would imagine that it's over time we're going to see that it's a lot more than just double. You're talking about a lifetime. Who's clicking the unfollow button? Nobody. I don't even know if they know where it is. So I think
I don't even know if they have it. They probably touch it. It's alive forever. Catholic wedding.
Again, now is the time to take advantage of that. Not in a year from now when we're talking about how 2022 was the year of the social aspect, and next year is going to be who knows what. You know, can't even think of 2023. I don't even know what's going to happen. So
we're all gonna go to space.
no,
with that Blue Origin from the money of all the consumers, because Jeff Bezos bolted and said, "Oh, every Amazon customer that bought something made this happen." Remember, that was this year. So all of us sent them to space, and also William Shatner. So at least I enjoyed that. That was cool. Captain Kirk. But Liz, I dropped on the chat for you the link for that report, so everybody can see that report and dive into it.
Awesome. Thank
I don't know
you.
if you can get it there. You can add it to the show notes. It's really interesting stuff there. So the stores they mentioned, the brand followers. Another thing that I saw here was more than 500,000 sellers are using brand analytics. You guys, David, do you use that for agency?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so check it out. What else we got, Liz?
What did we promise? Have we not discussed something we promised that we would, because we only have 12 minutes left?
I think we over discussed, but yeah.
David, why don't? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
It's all good. I want to drop a little bomb. So we're talking about Amazon Lives. Obviously, I'm in the video space. We just purchased new equipment. We just signed our first client for Amazon Lives. We will be recording next month. It's a new space for us. We're going to see where that takes us. Obviously, we're coming with a different approach. We're writing out the content. We're writing out the scripts. We're doing it at a different. We're having models. We're doing a whole different environment to see where that comes from. So I'm excited to see how that first Lives comes out. I'm going to be doing a lot of behind-the-scene filming and seeing how the process goes. I want people to see what goes behind the scenes, right? Because just watching what's in front is only a portion of what goes down. So yeah, Lives is something we're looking for in the next year or so.
That's awesome. I'm gonna send like 5 people I talked to yesterday to you.
Yeah, I'm done.
But yeah, I think showing how the sausage is made, as it were, is important, because it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not just like holding your phone up and, just getting it done. There's a lot of work, and there's a lot of strategy that needs to go into it too.
Yeah.
But getting into it now, just like we're saying with all of this stuff, getting into it now before everybody's doing it, and like you're the, it's so weird, because in January of this year, it was this January, I did a webinar about 360-degree photography, and like 500 people showed up to that thing, because they were like, yeah, that'll, let's figure out how to do that, because we need 360-degree. I mean, and they showed examples of like weed killer or, insect spray that sold so much better because it was a 360-degree image of the bottle rather than just a flat image. That was January. We're in October now, and we're talking about Amazon Live, which is basically an infomercial for your product, for the people who might follow your brand, and to try to get more people to follow your brand. We're talking about sending traffic from TikTok over to Amazon. We're talking about not just images that spin around anymore,
This one's going to be very interesting. It's such a challenge, because the product that we're going to be selling, I can't say the name yet, but there's a lot of car parts, right? A lot of car pieces. So we had to rent out a space where we could fit in a car and do the live in a car versus just on a table. So we want it like super interactive. We want people to see how the product is used. Unlike HSN, where they just have a product sitting on top of a table and explain its use, we want to go very detailed. We want to get in the car. It's gonna be some cool stuff, man. I'm excited to see what the
And
outcome
Liz,
is.
I want to just touch on something you just mentioned about image one. I find myself saying this like a lot these days, and I'm saying for a while, but more now than ever. Image one is the most important image you have. It's the image that's going to decide whether the customer is going to click on the product or not. Don't be afraid to test out different images, test out different angles. I cannot tell you how many times a simple angle change or another angle or whatever,
David,
you
how
know,
about the shadow? How about just adding a shadow under the product?
that's against the protocol, but
And so
No,
people are breaking
real shadow, not fake shadow.
shadow.
oh yeah, okay. If it's a
And
real photo, then it's a
We're
real
gonna keep it
photo.
real, yeah.
Shadow, that's technically something they might catch and tell you not to have. You might get away with it, but you might not.
I see it being done all over the place, and I've seen like
Definitely.
but not Photoshop, the actual real
My
shot.
favorite thing that I see done everywhere, which I wish we could do, Amazon, if you're listening, how sometimes the main image shows you all the colors they have available. And that's definitely against TOS, but I wish it wasn't, because it shows you that you have it in 20 different colors. And sometimes they put really little on the bottom, little swatches of every single color you have. It makes so much sense.
You're
But
talking about like
right
when
now,
you have the new iPhones, they give it with all the colors. You see the billboards with all the, the iPhones with all the color options. That kind of images, basically. So you
yeah,
see the spectrum
so
right on the pictures instead of looking at the.
people put it on image one. They just on the bottom left or bottom or middle, whatever.
But you're not supposed to.
Not supposed to though, yeah.
Not supposed to on the main image, right?
Main
You
image.
can,
We could do it
on the carousel image, they can add a
unknown
lot of
here
stuff.
on the rest, yes.
You know, we as a shopper, I look at all the images every single time. Even if it's something that I buy every month, I don't know why, but I just like go through and look at all the images, see if anything's changed. I mean, of course, it's because I'm on the inside of this thing, but I did that even before I got into e-commerce. Is I just like, what do I need to know? Is there sizing information here? Is the size chart one of the images? I hope the size chart's one of the images, and it's not in inches. It's in like what my size is and what size I should order because I don't want to measure like how big around I am in my shoulders, in inches. I don't know. Do you guys know? I mean, I guess you do because you buy suits, but like I don't know how wide my shoulders are.
This is
That's
this is
not
a suit.
helpful.
This is the suit for my wedding. So this I have it for 9 years, and once suit fits, it keeps on going. It's but nobody heard it. Sorry, nobody heard this. Anyways, I was just joking. What was I about to say? I forgot. Go ahead. You were saying.
So wait, Liz, are we giving away tickets to Sellers Dinner in Miami?
Yeah, we're gonna give away one ticket and so what I'm gonna do, because I've got one extra, right?
I think I'm gonna match it and we'll give two if that's
We're
possible.
gonna give away two. Okay, so first, if you don't know what the Ecom Cooperative is, if I may, the Ecom Cooperative is a collection of service providers and software providers and helpers in this space, like the four of us and many of our friends that we've talked about today, Tim, Norm, etc. And we've gathered together to provide great resources, great opportunities for networking, and great giveaways for Amazon sellers and brands, like just the e-commerce community in general. So it was the brainchild of the three guys that are in this virtual room with me, and I've been honored to be.
Four.
And
Lenny's here also technically, but you can't see him.
Lenny's in the back. Well, no, I think he had a 2:30, so Lenny's probably not here anymore. But Lenny and Jason too. Lenny Ash and Jason Hannon. And it's been so exciting for me to be part of it too, because it's just working, right? And so we're coming up on our second sellers dinner. It's in Miami, at the very best kosher steakhouse in Miami. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm already packed. I'm like so excited. But it's November 1st, so a week from yesterday. So it's less than a week away. And what do you think, David? I can share the link. So 2 tickets, 2 people who are still right here at this webinar. So this does not apply if you're watching.
Yeah, I think it's only the people that are here in the webinar, and I think maybe we could we just like let them comment? Is that the way? How do we let them claim it? How do we let them enter?
We can either put the link to the landing page, and anybody who fills it out between now and 3 o'clock Eastern is in the running.
Let's give
or
an hour to sign up because 3 o'clock is in 4 minutes, so I don't want to over.
okay, so to
No, but we
you,
want to pick it live, Yoni.
I want
oh,
to
do
pick
we
it
want to
live. So
pick
you
them
got 4
live?
minutes. So
So we can put them
okay.
on random. So listen, they can comment. We'll put their name on random.org. We're gonna share a screen, go to that website, and the names are gonna pop up. So the
Okay,
first two.
so
But regardless, it can always fit the website, and we're gonna raffle even more tickets, correct?
Yeah, we're raffling every day
Right. So
until.
you have 4 minutes to get your stuff now on the chat. You can just drop your name and we'll random pick you. But
yep.
Liz will have the link, and you go to the landing page and register if you didn't win this round. So you have on a second round.
All right. So if you would like to have a free ticket to the Miami Sellers Dinner, chat now or forever hold your peace. And
It's
then
$1,000 per ticket. If you will go to the website, just buy a ticket. It's $1,000. So it's gonna be the best leaders in the industry, the top sellers in the Miami area. We have wizards of e-commerce, community bringing their top guns to the mix and the top sellers to network. This is the finest kosher dining in the area. It's $1,000, free of charge. 2 tickets. Drop your name, and we'll random pick you. And then if you're still interested in it because you haven't won, go to the landing page and register.
Yoni, your army experience never leaves you, man. Coming with the big guns.
They came with they injected it. I need to find the the vaccine for that.
So Liz, I don't know how we could share here. I don't know if you want to do it. I already have like random.org ready.
I'm going to chat. I'm going to chat directly at you all of the people's names, and you can randomize. This is so exciting.
How do I share the screen?
I think I can.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah.
Let's get some winners in here. In the
So-
meantime, we're gonna throw some fun facts because you guys were talking about the Amazon listing page and the main image and all the requirements and sizes. I spoke this year with Stefan Henny. He's from Foundry Brands. He worked in Amazon for I think 14 plus years. And he mentioned to me that on the listing page itself, right, in Amazon itself, there's 400 teams that are involved that are in charge on this page. There's so many widgets and functions to the listing page. There's more than 400 teams on that page. So the team for the images, team for the content, team for the title, team for the detail. It's an amazing machinery what's going on behind the scenes with the Amazon listing page. That's what's a constant changing animal with all these elements and features. So you got to stay attentive to that. Constantly try to be creative, and as more features come in and more opportunity comes in with your listing page, optimize and do it. And this is once again prediction and looking into the future because this is the most impactful way you're communicating with consumers that are online on Amazon. This is your space. This is your digital shelf, right? And when you go to brick and mortar, you see your products. You're on a shelf. They touch you, feel you. That's the physical experience. On the digital experience, your digital shelf is your listing. So throw everything you have, all the arsenal that's in your power. If it's videos, pictures, content, copyright, whatever it is, blow it out and keep blowing it in. It's just the way. So this is nothing's too high or too fancy. So keep that in mind going to the future.
So guys, we didn't get any signups. Anybody that wants to win the tickets?
Actually, people just put their names into the question section, and I just chatted them to Frank. I just made Frank the presenter. So Frank, if you want to do your random thing, you can click on the share your screen in
Let's
the
do it. We got
GoToWebinar
60
panel.
seconds. Yeah, let's do some winners and finish out with the Big Bang theory.
So it's not letting me share my screen. I don't know this software I haven't used.
It's okay.
Okay,
Just throw
but
it
we
in
did
there
have
to announce
9
the
people
winner.
that entered like right now. Put their names in the chat like right then. So
Okay. So I have their names ready.
okay.
Do I record this? How do I?
But just say it out loud. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not that winning the lottery. It's okay.
I'll know. I'll know.
All right, we're ready?
Yeah. Who's the first winner?
All right. So the first winner is Cindy M.
All right, Cindy.
Congratulations. $1,000 ticket to the Sellers Dinner, the Ticometric Sellers Dinner in Miami and Fuego Restaurant. Second winner.
Perfect. Randomizing now. And the next one is Alec Gutierrez.
Alec. Okay, so
Congratulations, Alec.
Cindy and Alec, I will be emailing you the link to use for Eventbrite and your coupon code that you'll be using for your free ticket. And congratulations. And I love giving stuff away during webinars. It's so much fun. And we're going to have we're doing when are we doing Seller Mania?
November 17th at 2
November 17th. So we're going to be obviously putting a link to that in the show notes too, because you can win all kinds of stuff with Seller Mania, which is another thing that the Ecom Cooperative does. So we're 1 minute over. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an
Thank you for
absolute
having us.
pleasure. If anybody has any questions for these guys, just let me know. I'll get you to them. You'll get this recording. We'll see you at the next webinar, and everybody have a great day.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.